Hey, what's going on? Matthew Taman here. Listen, email marketing is still amazing. You can get tremendous results from it. So in this course, I'm going to teach you how to build a custom email marketing automated campaign with Joomla. You're going to learn how to use AC mailing to build and automate your campaigns. You're going to learn how to build your mailing forms and customize them so that you can be able to grab subscribers' name, their information, and their details. And we're going to do this using 3 of Joomla's top page builders. So we're going to first start off with Quix page builder. Then we're going to use SP page builder, and we're going to use Gridbox. So all of these are really great tools to help you to automate things. We're going to build something very simple, clean, and that has a really high conversion rate. So let's get started. And we're going to be using the convert forms. So convert form is a really great form for those that want to be able to, you capture the leads, you want to build a campaign, and then you want to, follow up with those people. So this is a really, really cool and great extension that I've used for a long time. It's from Tasso. This guy, really, really awesome stuff. So let's check it out first, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. So some of the features that it has is you can be able to build your form. You have form fills, you have templates, you have email services add-ons. So this is really great if you want to be able to link up to like MailChimp, Aweber, Infusionsoft, and some of the other popular and widely used email services. So you have email notifications, submission. I'm just going to go through right so you can see what you can integrate it with. And we're actually going to integrate it with AC mailing, which is for Joomla, and how how that's going to work. So you scroll through here and you see the all the features, support, updates, and so you have the demo, and you kind of get an idea of what you can build with it. So email opt-in form like that, support ticket, hotel booking form. And then you have a lot of other different things that you can build as well. So let's go over now to the back end of Joomla. And I'm not going to go over installation Joomla and all the details because I have a lot of courses on this already. So what I am going to do is I want to show you what we're going to be using to build this. Okay, so we're going to integrate this with all other Joomla website builders. So we're going to integrate it first with Quix. Quix is a really powerful drag and drop template builder for Joomla, and as you can see here, it shows you some of the features it has. We're also going to integrate it with Balboa's Gridbox. Gridbox is another awesome all-in-one template builder shop. Has a lot of great features with it. You can check it out. Go to balboa.com. I'm going to be using the pro versions of all these, and then we'll have finally SP page builder, which is another awesome extension that you can use to build incredible websites without coding in minutes. So the goal of it is I want to show you how it's going to look in each page builder, how you can design it from scratch. And finally, we're going to use AC mailing. AC mailing is the email marketing extension or plugin that you can be able to use for your WordPress or Joomla websites. It allows you to build beautiful campaigns. You can automate them, and you can do so many things with it. So let's go now let me close this, and we're going to go now on the back end of Joomla, and I am going to show you how to get this set up. So the first thing that we want to do is you want to get the pro version of this extension, or they have a free one as well. Once you download it, you go to extensions, manage, and you go to install. And from here, you go to upload package file, and then you just click to browse, and then you upload it from there, and it's going to do its thing. So I've already done that. So now let's go over to components, and let's go over to convert form. And this is the dashboard here for the convert form. I just want to give you a quick overview and a walkthrough. Now, as I mentioned before, this is really awesome because it lets you know the status, statistics, and how your site and everything is pretty much going. So right here you see all your submissions. Anytime that people submit something like a form, like you build an opt-in list for your newsletter, for a campaign you're running, it's going to show you all that the average that you get throughout. Now, since it's a new campaign that I'm creating this demo for, it has nothing yet. And then you have your forms. So you can either create a new form, you can check the forms you've created, you can go to your campaign, submissions, add-on, import, options, and knowledge base. So let's take a look at the new forms first. So if you're going to build a new form, you click here. When you do that, it's going to show you this pop-up with the inline for how it's going to look. Now, if there's any specific look that you want, you can go for it. So you see where you have this, the first one, the diamond, you have the place where they can put in the fill for the email address and then the submit button. So you have different layouts and variations that you can be able to use for based on the style that you're going for. Or you can also click it says start from scratch. So when you start from scratch, you're automatically given two fields here. Enter your email address and enter your name. Now to the left side here, this is where you can be able to customize the designs and the behavior. So when you go to here, you can also drag, let's say you wanted to put the name first, you can drag that up. You can drag any field anywhere and it's going to automatically move it like this. And then of course you have the required here. So when you click on here, you can customize, enter your name, the help text. You can put something like this is where you put your name, right? That's the help text there. And you scroll down, you can see the fill size. You scroll down again, you can hide the specific label. You can, so once you do that, that's hidden. So I remove that, enter your name at the very top. If you don't want to put that on there, and then the text filter, you can put the restrictions here and the minimum characters. So if you don't want them to add a certain amount of characters or maximum words, so you have a lot of control that goes to enable like your calculation for here. So you have a lot of things you can be able to do with this fills. You can check out all fills, and then let's go over to design. Now with the design here, you can choose the form. What do you want to call this particular form? Okay, so we can put the name for it. So I'm just gonna call this one, Joomla form, right? You can always change that, and you can choose the custom width. When you click here, you can go to auto. It's going to automatically adjust, or say based on the size of the page. So this really works good because sometimes you want it to adjust accordingly based on a specific section or region you put in. But if you want to use the custom, then you can let the system know how many pixels that you want it to be. You can also change the background color right here. As you move it around, it changes. So if you are building something for your brand and you want this form to match, this is a great way for you to, kind of get that going. So I moved the colors here. You notice that it is going to change the background. Also, you can change the background image if you want to put an image in the background, or you can also put a URL. You can put a custom message here. That's a text message that you can put right there. And then it's going to show right here at the very top. So when people are looking at the form, maybe you want them to know something. You can even, let's say I'm going to put this, and I'll just make this subscribe now, right? And then I can just come here and I'm going to bold it. So now you see that's how that looks. I can put in something like get the latest newsletter from us. If I can spell from us today in your inbox. Okay, so I put that there. Now you notice that I've pretty much just customized this form to give it that specific, look. And let's scroll down here. So it auto updates, and you can choose your font family as well. They have lots of different font here. So right now the default is the Arial. So I'm gonna leave it as that. You can choose your pattern. If you wanted to give more space, the pattern looks okay now, but if you wanted to do more, then you can kind of just mess with the patterns here to see. As you do that, it changes and adjusts accordingly. You can add the box radius, and then you have your border style. You can have solid, dotted. As you change here, you notice that it's giving it that specific look. It has that dotted look. It has the dash. You can put the dash. And you can you can even customize the color if you want it to be a specific color. So I can move that right there. And I can come with the box, the width, you can change it. So I'm just kind of going through here, and sometimes it takes a few minutes to, adjust. So if you wanted to build something, let's say for a specific color scheme, for maybe yourself or a client, and you want to give it a certain type of look, this is how you can be able to do it with that. So let's scroll back now, the border color, the width, and let's go to the image. You can click here to close that part as well. And that's the background color. So let's close this part here. And then the image source, you can add an image in the background, which I don't really think that, you really need to, but you can try that out. So you click here, and then you can click to upload a specific file, and you can add wherever you want it to be. So let's click here. Someone's going to add something here, this image, click insert. And now you see I've added this image right there. So I'm going to leave it at that here, and you can change the width, leave it to auto, above the text, right from the text. So you have a lot of options here. Let's you put it below. Now it's below the text, and you can put it left side of it, and you can put it right side. So it's pretty much however you want it to, to be. And you can even choose the column size, the horizontal position. So next, you can hide it on small screens. So if it shows on like a cell phone or something, it's going to be able to hide it. If you don't want it to show there, you can put your alt text here. And now let's go over to the form. So with the form, you can choose the position, right, left, or bottom, and you can adjust it according like that. And then you can also choose left. So if you do this, let's go back here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to auto. And when I go to auto, you notice that it gives this a little bit more space, and it's a lot bigger. So that's one of the ways that you can be able to use to adjust it. So as you're placing it on your site, then it gives it a lot of flexibility to fit in a specific area. So let's just go back here to custom. Now, when we're integrating this into the page builders, then we're going to see how that works. And you're going to be able to make the changes that you need for it. So let's go back here, and so I'm going to put this back to custom, and then we'll come now. Let's come over to the background. This is for the form, the background here. So you can adjust the colors. Let's go over to the fills, and then this is the label text. Now the label text is a little grayed out, so if you want this to show up a little bit more, we're going to click here, and we're going to just make this white, so it'll be a lot more visible. And you can change the size of it too. 15 is pretty good, but you want to make it a little bigger, you can make that bigger like that. And then you can label positions. You can put it to the left, or you can put it to the right, and you can indicate here. You see this on the left, so let's just put it to top alignment. And you also, do you want this field to be required? So when you check required field installation here, indication, then it's going to show this here. But if you don't want it to be required, then you can just disable this, and it's going to not make it required. So anybody could just submit, something. I don't require you, leave it not required, because anybody could just submit nonsense. So you want to make sure that you have that checked. And then you can take the field colors right here as well. You can change the color scheme for that, the background color, the border radius, the vertical pattern. If you wanted to add a shadow, you can be able to do that. And now let's go over to the advanced. This is for the footer that you can be able to add for like the form footer. So I'll just put something. Thanks for checking my website. I can do that here. So I'm just pretty much just scrolling through here and just customizing the form and showing you how to build something, from scratch. So this is how we have it here, and we can go back to the form, and we can kind of change certain things that we want here. So now I have this form here at the very bottom. So with the image, we can choose to keep it, or we can just choose to not have it there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to just have the image set to none. Right, when I set it to none there, then it's going to take it off. We can choose to add that later on. So once you're done creating your form, you can also choose some of the behaviors here. So with the behaviors, you click down the status of it. You can enable anti-spam for the honeypot. We'll take a look at that later on, so that you can get a lot of spammers just posting nonsense. You can enable that. And then PHP script, you can put that on here. I'm not going to be going through that. Then you have the email notifications. So when someone submit the form, you can make sure that when you submit a form to get notified. So when you click here, this is all the fields that you can leave. Now for the email subject, you can just leave it as new submission. You don't want to change any one of these placeholders here, okay? Where it says contact form, you can rename that to whatever, and then you can put in an email that you want people to reply to and reply to them. So you put an email, or you can put like, reply. If I can type reply at myemail.com. So anytime that someone fills this form out, they're going to automatically, it's going to reply to them in the name, Just put a Matthew Tame, and then all fields. What this means is that it's going to show all these fields here. Okay, now we'll take a look at customize a little bit later on, but I just want to show you just a simple part of that. And then you have the conditional logic or conditional fields here. So how conditional logic works is whenever someone chooses something, right? Let me click here. So let's say, for example, someone put their name. You can add a rule that says if they put their name, then you can add something else that's going to show specifically. So you can choose to select the operator. You can put starts with. Now this can get a little, confusing, complicated, but I'm going to simplify this. But we're not really going to use this right now because I just want to get a simple basic form set up. So if someone chooses a specific option, let's say you have a drop down list, they can choose, if they choose, let's say their name, they can choose, let's say you want to show people that choose their name, you want to show them a specific color, people that choose a specific location, you want to show them specific things. So a conditional logic is like a breakdown. If you choose this, then you only see this. If you choose X, you see whatever. So that's how conditional logics work. But I just want to show you a quick overview. I'm not going to incorporate that now. So we're done with our basic form. Enter your email and then enter your name. You want to click on save. And then once you've done with save, and also you can check your submission here, collect, this is the submission part here. Display a message after submission, or you can redirect the user. So when you click here after successful submissions, you can just send them a message, or you can start to redirect the user to this particular page. So that's what some people choose to do. If someone opt in, or someone, unless you're in a special offer and they put in their name and their email here, you can redirect them to any URL. It doesn't even have to be Joomla. It can be to another website. Okay, so I'm just going to put in here, so learnjoomlafast.com. Okay, all right, so we'll just leave that at that for now, and we've saved this. So now let's click to X out of here. So now we have this Joomla form, and then you have the actions here. It shows you the user. It shows you, publish, creating a module for it, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. And then this is your short code that you're going to need. All right, so now that you've created this form right here, let's go and click on to create a module. So now we're creating a module, but before we do that, you notice here it's going to ask you which one that you want to go with here. So I've created a first one called newsletter. Now this one is called Joomla forms that we just built. So I'm just going to call this one here Joomla form, and we're going to make sure first it says title, just leave that to hide. We don't care about it. And then for the position, we'll just leave it at that for now. So menu assignment, don't worry about all this stuff right now. And you want to make sure you click on save and close. Now, before you click on save and close, you can choose, let's say you want to start publishing this in a specific date and you want it to end on a specific date. Where you have to start publishing with the dates, you can choose that specific date to start, and you can choose a specific date that you want to end. So how that is going to work is that, let's say you run a special and you only want people to get access to this particular subscription for a period of time. You can choose your start date, and then you can choose your end date. So if you wanted to go for a week, a month, however long that is, you can decide and make control of that there. And then you can choose to the public access. Maybe you're building something where you only want for specific users to have access to. Now this can get really detailed, where you can create what's called access control levels, and you can give different controls. So you can have, let's say you have 5 groups, right? And you want each group to have access to a specific form. Well, with the access here, you can do that. Now I'm not going to go into that detail because you got to set that up and then you have to integrate it with it. So there's the module. So now I want to click on save and close. So now we've done that. Let's go back to convert forms again, and we're going to set up, let's take a look at the options. With the options, you have your general, you have your security. That's where you have the load sheet. By default, that's okay. You have the reCAPTCHA, you have the advanced. You kind of click through these here. If you want to use reCAPTCHA like with Google, you can be able to make sure that you go to this URL right here, and then you get your site key and you get your secret key. It's real easy to set up. So they have the the checkbox, and the invisible box. So it's simple to set up. Google's gonna get you all those codes, and this is where you come in to put them. But I'm not gonna use that right now. So let's go back to convert forms again. And you could also import your different content. You can also use your add-ons. Let's take the add-ons for example. Add-ons are really great because it lets you see what you can integrate with this particular extension here. So you have a lot of things here. You have Active Campaign, AC Mailing, Aweber, you have the MailChimp, Salesforce, Zoho, and if you're missing one, you can always contact them. They can add one for you there. And when you click on this here, it gives you the information about it. It's going to redirect you to that particular site right here with the specific installation instructions. And also you can click on any one of these here and make sure that it's actually enabled. So that's good. Okay, so now we've done that part. Let's go back here. Now the setup has been complete. Let's take a look at campaigns. So there are currently demo campaigns that are running, but let's click on new here so you can see how campaigns work. Campaigns are very simple, and how they work is, let's say you want to run a new campaign for a new product or service that you launch, and you want to send out email specifically to just those people. So I'm just going to put in here Joomla campaign, and then make sure it's set to publish, and then you want to sync submission. Now let's choose the service. So if you're using any one of these servers here, you can choose the one that you currently have. So if you have, let's say, AC Mailing, HubSpot, MailChimp, GetResponse, all of those, so you can be able to choose which one that you like or which one you're currently using. So now it's in please save the campaign to set up integration. So just click on save. Now you have the AC Mailing. And when you do that, it's going to ask you for your list ID. So when you set up AC Mailing, which you're going to take a look at in just a moment here, when I click on this drop down, it's going to ask for AC Mailing 5 and 6. So I'm going to choose from this one. But before I do that, let me go back. Let me just close this here. Now let's take a look at AC Mailing. So you go to components and you go to 6. Now they have a version 5 and they have a version 6. The version 6 is the latest version. So once you install it, you go through all the setup, you're going to get something that look like this, and it's going to let you know your sends and all the stats here. Again, since this is a demo stuff that I'm building, there's nothing here yet. So you want to go over, you see your configurations. When you do so, it's going to show you your default sender, the name, it's going to show you the email, and how do you want to send your email. So you have using your server, using PHP mail, using an external server. So all these here gives you the opportunity to choose however you want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to use just this right here since it's a server. And then the according format, you can leave this as the standard. And then you have the queue process. With the queue process, this is based on how often you want to send. So you have the automatic send. You can send, a number of emails every minute, every hour. Now, again, this is based on your server specs. So you would have to contact your server, your web hosting company, and ask them what your send limit, because every email server have a specific limit that you can send. So you can't just come and say, okay, I want to automatically just send 7,000 every 15 minutes. Well, some servers can limit you where you can only send about 150 every hour, or you can send a specific amount. And now based on your server configurations, then you would have to, you can follow that. Your web hosting company is going to let you know. You can also do the manual. Now with the automated, we'll take a look at that in just a second. You can set up what's called a cron job. So I'll execute certain commands at the same time, at the same date, same hour, minutes, and seconds. It gets real detailed. So with the manual send, you can choose how many you want to send every, same thing here. And then with the maximum number of tries, how many times do you want to try it? The maximum execution, how that works. So this is really key when you're setting things up, because then you know exactly, how things are going to be. And then you can choose your report. You can set up a cron job, which I'm not going to do. But you can also get that on your server. You go to subscription. You can allow non-logged users to subscribe. Let's go to data collection. You can allow users to export their data from their profile. You can use to track AC Mailing. You can use Google Analytics to track your campaign. And then security, you have invisible capture. Make sure you get that done with Google. and you have your languages, and you have your bounce. Now with the bounce is very important. If you want to set a bounce email is just saying you email someone and that email is not active or it's not the right person. You know, sometimes people create fake stuff just to submit it. So this where you can set it. You can use an actual domain, or you can just use a fake. You can create another fake domain where it's just going to go, because if you create, let's say, your normal email, right, that is coming to you, now there's an option. You can create your actual email, the correct email. It is going to send all the bounce emails to there. So that can be a way for you to know, okay, this is not working, that's not working. And you can choose your server here. You can choose your connection. You can have the IMAP or the POP3 and all that stuff. Once you're done, you click on save. Now let's go over to your list. With your list, this is where you can choose the list that you want people to submit to, and you can have as many lists as you want, right? So let's say you're building a list for marketing, you're building a list for special offers, you're building a list for updates, you're building a list for, you know, coming soon. You can create all those lists there, and it's very simple to do. So let's create new list. So now we're going to call this list Joomla form, and I'm not going to go over tags right now, but you can definitely add tags to it. So it's active. Let's click on save and continue. Now it's going to ask you having a subscriber, no subscribers yet. So we'll just click on save and continue. Now you can import, let's say you have another list, you can import your subscribers from any other platform through a CVS file. So let's go over here, click on save and continue. And it's going to ask you, how do you want to design your welcome email? It shows you options here, or you can click here to create something yourself. Now this is a basic template. You click to edit the subject name, Joomla form welcome. And I can put this here, welcome to Joomla, okay? Now I can click to edit the template. Now the template is simple. You can just drag and drop different things here. These are the different blocks. These are the different titles. So I can drag this title right there. I'm just gonna drag this block. And with the title, I'm just gonna call this Joomla forms. And you can pretty much put, like, you can put an image. Let's say I want to put an image. So I'm going to delete this block, right, because I don't need this one. All right, so I can put like an image like right here. Just going to grab this one. So when I'm sending emails, it's going to have that. I can put in a video. I can put in a share on social media. I can put in a separator. So this is a really intuitive and simple way for you, you know, to be able to make sure that people get it. So you can put another text right here. Thanks for being part of Joomla. I'm just showing, but you can customize a little bit more with the heading. Let's say you want that to be like a 2. Let's come back like a 4. So you can actually build your template, your email template, very, very easily with the template settings. You go over to settings, and you can choose the background color. You can choose whatever color that you want. As you move it around, you notice it changes. And you can choose the margin top. You can choose the design. So there's a different font style. You can add a custom style sheet. You can do all that. So once you've done, just click on apply. Now your template has been successfully saved. And when you're done, you click on save and exit. So now you see right here, this is the template that we just created. So this is really great. You can always come back. You can create as many templates. You can also import HTML templates. Let's say you buy a template from a third party, or you can actually import that here, and you can use that. You can build as many templates as you need for specific campaigns, and you can automate them. So you go on subscribe email. There's no unsubscribe here, so you can actually create one. So when people unsubscribe, that's optional. So now we're going to choose the email template we just created, and we'll click on save and continue. So now unsubscribe, I'm going to click on save and exit. Okay, so now we have created the new. Also, you can also assign colors to each list. It's going to do that too for you. So we'll have no users in there, and our form is set, our campaign is set. So now the next thing that we need to do is, let's go back to convert forms here, and let's go to our campaigns. So this is the Joomla campaign that we started creating earlier. Let's connect this sync with AC mailing. And now we are going to go have HTML, and now let's connect it to the Joomla forms. So now this is the Joomla form is connected. Do you want to double opt-in, meaning that they can opt in twice? They would have to confirm. So I'm not going to say yes for now. I'll leave that. And I can also have this multiple, lists here. So if I wanted to run this campaign on multiple lists, then I can do that as well. But I'm just going to choose just one here. So once I'm done, click on save and close. So now that's done, let's go over to the drop down. We have several options here. Let's go over to drop down. So we're going to go to Gridbox. So our goal is we're going to be integrating the form we just created with Gridbox. Now I do have extensive tutorial about Gridbox that goes through all the stuff that you need to know how to do. But these are the different things you can set up here. So I'm not really going to go through a lot of details over these. So once you install Gridbox, you have a new dashboard. So you can come over, you can click to add new item, pages, blog, zero app. These are all the things that you can add. Now if you don't see watch video services, that these are things that I actually added on there on my own. So I'm going to, you can click go to pages. Now another thing with Gridbox is when you click here on themes, you can be able to add custom theme, like themes that pre-designed themes, for example. So if there's a specific style you see here that you want to use, you can choose one of these styles as your foundational block. Okay, so I'm not going to use that now. So I've made this a default. All right, so when you go here, you go over, let's click add new, let's click add a new page. When you add a new page, we're going to call this one Joomla form. And you get to choose from the drop down here. Do you want to use the specific theme that I've installed, or do you want to use a generic one? So these are the options that you have here. So I've already installed a theme. I'm just going to keep that theme. So I'm going to click on next. Okay, so now if yours doesn't look like this, that's because I'm using a different theme. If you install the same theme that I have, then you're going to get something that looks close to that. I've done some customization for a lot of the tutorials that I do. So with Gridbox here, you have this top section that is going to be your main menu. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, if you're using the pro version, you can use what's called blocks. So I'm going to click here to look at the blocks, and I can kind of pick and choose and see which layout or options here that I like. So if there's something that I want to be able to use, let's say I like this one, I can scroll down and I just have to drag it over. Now we created that form, so we can use one of these to be able to put the form with it. So I'm going to go through here, see if there's a specific one that I like, how that looks. Check this here. So I'm just kind of scrolling through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate one that has a video on one side, and then I'm going to put the form on the other side. So again, we can change this anytime we want. So let me just do this now. I'm going to drag this one right here. Okay, drag it over now. So I'm going to just on the right section here just to click to delete. I don't need that. So now we have this. So the next thing that I need to do is I can put the video over on this side. So I'm going to click to add new element, and I can just put in video, and it's going to ask me for my YouTube ID, which I have a video. I'm just going to copy that. When you put in your YouTube ID here, let me see, delete all this. You just want to make sure that the URL that you get from YouTube, you delete everything else and leave just the ID. So that's from the YouTube, and I am going to autoplay no. So that's fine for now. Let's just click on, we'll customize that later on. So now we don't need this top part here. Just click on delete. Okay, so now we have our video. So now the next thing is we want to add that form over on this section here. Now you can easily move things over to the left or the right. So let's go ahead and we'll add our form. So let's click on add new element, and let's type in just here Joomla, and you get the Joomla module. And you're going to see right here where it says Joomla form. This is the one that we created. So this is what we need. Just click the form, And now we have that form that we built with convert form. So it's showing you the select. You can always change the different form that you need. You can go to the layout. So right now this looks okay. So I'm going to click on X right here. And let's just come in and let me see, delete this call to action. Again, I'm not going to go all the details in how to build all this stuff here. So I'm just going to go and just click on, let me see here. You can either click on, you can just start to edit right from here as well. If you wanted to, let's say edit this text. Okay. So I'm going to click here to edit, and this the Word document. I'm just going to put in here, you know, Joomla form. And you can change the size of it if it's too big. I'll just leave it at the 1. And I can just call this just Joomla. All right, that's good for now. So you notice here you have this amount of space, or better yet, if you don't even think you need it, I'm just kind of playing around with it here. I'll do this. All right, I'll leave it out there. And then the sub headline. Do I really need this sub right here? I'm just gonna come and I would delete it because I don't need it. And then for the Joomla, I'm gonna delete this Joomla here. Just delete. So now we have our form and we have the video line up. Again, you can switch these. Let's say if you wanted the video to be on this side, you can move it over. And you can also move the form to put it over on this side. If this is the look you're going for, that's fine. You can do some adjustments here to the, you know, how much space you have. But again, the idea is that you have your video and then you have your form. If you don't like how this looks, you can switch it over. That's pretty much up to you. So now that you have your form, this is how it's going to be. People can be able to come in and they can subscribe to this form, and it's going to redirect them to the link that, you know, was set up. So if you wanted to, let's say you wanted to make some adjustments, you know, to this, you can go here, you can click to edit the background. Let's say you want to change that, you go triangle, you can change that to something else. Or if you just want it to be just, let's scroll down here. So you have a lot of options here to choose the style that you want. So I'm just going through here choosing. So whichever one works for your particular brand. And if you didn't want this to take up this whole area, you would go where it says full screen, you disable that. Now it's not the full screen, you know, like that, but I'm just gonna keep it at this. So this here can work. So I am going to, let's see what we're gonna do here. So I'm going to add, if I add in another row right here. So it's asking me how many columns. I'll just choose 1. And you see how this works. I'm going to just click to add a plugin here. I'll put in a heading. So I'll put the headline. And with the headline, I can put in, let's say I want to make it Joomla form subs. All right, so now let's go here. Design, put that in the center. The color, I want to change that to white, and X off. So now it's in the center. So what I'm going to do now is just drag this one up. Yeah, drag it up like that. So I can put that, subscribe to my Joomla form as a heading if I want to. So now we've just successfully just built this. So this is really great. If, like I said, if you wanted to just build a simple capture page where you just want people's email and you don't want anything else, you don't want nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Now you can also customize how this here looks. So let's see. We can modify the column here. Let's see, you want to adjust the spacing between these two. You can use this to drag that like that, and that becomes bigger. All right, so now this taking more space, and you can adjust it accordingly here. So 9.2, and you can also click, let's see right here, I think 9.3 works. Okay, so we'll have a 9.3, and that looks pretty good, right? So you can also click the right, you click to modify. So when you modify, I'm going to put in here 9 plus 3. This one you want to build custom, so 9.3. Save. Now you have it like this, so it's 9.3, or you can change it to, let's say, like an 8.4. The goal of it is the total numbers has to equal to 12. 8.4. Now that looks a little better. So you can also feel free to, of course, drag it as I showed you right there. So now your form is set up and everything is set to go. Anytime that someone subscribes, it's going to do all the things you set in the back end. It's already been set, and it's pretty much, ready to go. They watch the video and then they can subscribe to your specific list. Or if you want to add a button here, let's see, you want to add a buy now or something, order now. So we're just going to put in like a button, and we're just going to call like a buy now or order now. You don't have to put this button here, but I'm just trying to show you if you wanted to. So we just call this like a buy now, right? And then the size, you can change that, adjust that there. But anyway, I just want to show you that. I'm just going to because we don't need to, that's what the button looks like. You can change the background, but we want to keep it simple. So this is your basic form that you've set up, and it's really great. People come on your website, they subscribe, and that is all. You are done, nothing more. So now let's take a look at how do we do this same thing with SP Page Builder. So let's go to the back end now. So before we go to the back end of Page Builder, we can make sure that you can, if you want to make sure your settings for this here, your publishing, if you want this to publish on a specific date to start and finish, you can do that. So we're done. Make sure to click on save. All right, so now let's go back to the admin area and let's take a look at how to do the same thing with SP Page Builder. Now, as you can see here, I have a whole lot of different content, most creating tutorials and training stuff. All right, so now with SP Page Builder, I'll give you a quick overview. Just like the options, you can click to do some basic settings. You have your categories, you have your media, integrations, which I already have extensive stuff about SP Page Builder you can be able to take a look at. So what we're going to do now is let's just click to create a new page. So let's click on new, and let's call this one the same thing, Joomla form. And let's click to add. We can use templates, but we're not going to use templates now. You can import pages. So let's click to add new row. So with Page Builder, the same idea as with Gridbox, you can choose your custom settings here. So I'm just going to use, let's see, for this one here, I'm going to use the same format too, because with Gridbox we have two set up like this. So I am going to use the same thing too. Okay. So now once you've done that, now you can edit, do the edit on the back end, or you can do the edit on the front end. So since I've already created this two right here, I'm just going to click on save. When I click on save, I'm going to automatically activate the front end editor, which that's what we're going to do. So just click to edit on the front end. And now when you come to the front end of Page Builder, you notice that you have a different layout in terms of how their things are on the left side here. And this is where you have your blocks, your layouts, your tools, and you have your pages. Now blocks allow you to be able to just drag and drop blocks over. The layouts, create custom layouts. So with the block, this are all the blocks that you have access to right there. With the layouts, you have different templates that if you want to be able to add, you can be able to add those templates, but we're not going to use this now. And then you have your tools here. You can have your page settings, sections, add-ons, import, and all this other cool stuff. Okay, so now let's do this. So what we're going to do is, let me close this out. So, okay, so let's go back to the add-on here. Our goal, since we already have these two right here, we are going to drag the video, right? Let's just drag, let's type. You can just search for video, which should be somewhere at the very bottom, or you can type it here and it's going to automatically just kind of filter through. So let's just drag this video over to this site right here. Now we'll have on this side, we'll have the video on this side. With this one, we'll have it on this side. So if you want to drag something over, you click right here and you just drag it over. So now we have our video right on that side. So next we need to be able to add that form we created. So let's go to Joomla module and just add it over. And you click to edit, or it's going to show right here. You can choose the type, the module, or module position. So for this one, we already have a module. which is the Joomla form. And then we can type it in the title here if we want. Joomla form. Joomla form. Again, we could always change that later on. All right, so now that's set. Let's go back here. And you want to make sure that you click save your work. You can also check with the different, browsers to see how that's going to show. Now you don't see anything here. That's because you would have to look at it on the front end. And we'll take a look at that in just a second. So let's click on save. And on the left column, if you want more space, you can click right here. It's going to close that in to edit. So let's click over back here. So let's go down the back, and we got to create a menu so that we can be able to see this on the front end. So you go to your menus, and I'm just going to create one menu here. Click on new, and we're going to call this one Joomla form. And we'll click to menu item type. Go to SP page builder and select page. And we haven't saved this one. Make sure you have this page we're creating saved. And we'll have the Joomla form that we're creating right now. And then we want to click on save and close. Now, notice here that if you wanted to see what happened, I forgot to click the little apply button at the bottom here so you can kind of see what that looks like. So I went before and created this menu, which we were in. It's nice to have them connected, but I just forgot to click on the apply. So once you add your module and you choose a specific module, then you click apply. So let me just go back here and just do that again for you guys so you can see. So we choose our module here. We'll put that over, and then we're going to choose the form, and make sure you click on apply. Once you do that, then you're able to see that form, shows up like that. And this is where you can also choose to customize the layout here. So let's say if we wanted this to be a little bigger, you can have it like that. So I'm going to show you guys how to create 3 different styles in terms of the background. This one here has this background. Maybe sometimes you just want a simple white page that doesn't have anything. We can do that as well. So with this one here, let's see what we can add. So let's go back here to the add-ons. And what do we want to add? So let's say with this one, we want to add button. So we'll type button there. We can just drag it over. And let's customize this here. Order now. Alignment to the center. And again, I'm just doing this as an example. You don't necessarily have to do this. You could even delete it. Matter of fact, let's just delete this button here. So I'm going to put in like a share instead. So instead of having a button there, I'll just put in like a social share. So just drag that over. Make sure you're holding it. Now we have it. So, and you can choose to show before no website's name. You can choose just the major ones. And you can kind of delete the ones if something here that you don't want. If you want a little more space, you can choose the content alignment. You can choose solid. You can choose the different types here, the color, and just custom solid. It's pretty much up to you however you want that you use. So I'm just going to keep this at this one here. You can use the border radius for it, delete it. You can go to style and make a little bit more customizations to them. But I'm just going to leave them like this for now. So you have your simple page. Someone comes here, they watch the video, and then they're able to, subscribe to this. So if you wanted to change the form colors or anything like that, you can definitely do that with this one here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, let's add a title or heading. Now again, Page Builder has a lot of different stuff you can do, but I'm not going to go through all that here. So I'm just going to grab this heading, and I can put it right here. And I can put in the same thing, just Joomla form. Oops, got to make sure Joomla. So Joomla form sub. And I can change the size here to 1. And I'm going to make this, change the color. Let's see, go to style. And text color, I'm going to make this white. Let's see what else. Go back. You can change the hover color, the background. All right, so I'll leave it. For some reason it's not showing as this. So we can work on that later on, right? So we can change that color for this part. For some reason it's not changing right now. Okay, so we'll leave that for now. So what we're going to do is I am going to just click to add a new row here, just one, and I'm going to drag this one to be above this, and I'm going to drag this Joomla form sub to put it right there. Again, the goal of it is, you see I will have this Joomla form sub right there. Our goal of it is to do the same thing right here. So I'm going to come, there's too much space right now. So you can either click to edit here and you go to the style, you can change the pattern right here, or you can just drag and close that space like that. You can add more space or close the space. So I'm gonna do the same thing too with this one, try to eliminate so much space right there. Okay, so that looks good. Next, what we want to do now is I am going to change this so that it put a background color to it. This one, we have this nice orange. With this one, I want to put in a blue. So I'm going to click right over here. I click the row option, go to style. I choose gradient. I can lift that gradient. I'll do the same thing too for this one. Go to style, the gradient. Now we have two different gradients like this, or we can just choose one color. And let's say we choose some type of a blue, like this blue, right? All right, that works. I'm just gonna copy the code for this blue and come here, edit, go to style, and I'll just put that same blue right there, or whatever color you want. So let's add a little more space here with the pattern for this one, because this is a little. So I'm just gonna put the pattern, let's say like a 20 or something. So that adds a little bit more. Let's just do a 50. So 50 looks okay. Now you can remove this here if you want to keep them. It's up to you. And then next, let's click on apply. Let's click on save. So now when we go to the menu that we did on the front end, you know, this is what we have. You know, we can be able to add a little bit more space to it. Let's come back here. So now we have the Joomla form sub, and we have the LinkedIn stuff here at the bottom. And I'm going to change the link colors to white, or you can just delete them if you don't think you need them. So that's the option. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit more space here. So I'll put that at 250, and I'm going to put this 2 at, let's say 250. Let's come here. I'm going to change this part. I'm going to go to style. I'm going to put this one at the bottom at 250. So now we have more space right there. And when we look at the front end, now you have this Joomla sub. We can change the size, the font size of it again if we want to. Let's see here. Do I want to make it bigger than this? So with the font, you can make you can drag that over like that. Joomla form for. So I want to keep it something like this one right here. So I think 89, is that too big? Okay, so I think this works. Let's see how it looks. Okay, pretty much the same idea. You know, right here you have the simple form. Someone clicks. So now we have it in Gridbox format, and we have it in page builder format. So people come, you know, put in their required information, and then they click submit. So I put it in right there, and I click on submit. And then it's going to redirect me to the link that I put in there. You know, as I mentioned before, it's going to automatically redirect you to a different page, even if it's not a Joomla stuff. So that's where this is where that submit button took me to. So if you're creating some type of opt-in list, you want people to, once they submit, it can link within the same website, or it can link within an external site. It all works the same way. So now we've set up SP page builder. And finally, we're going to move on to Quix. So we have page builder, we have these two. Now let's move on to Quix and go to the dashboard. So Quix, you notice that the layout of the dashboard is a little bit different. It shows you here your optimized images. One of the things that is really great with Quix is it allows you to optimize your images. So if something is too large, and it helps with a compression reason, so it loads a lot faster. So let's go over to pages here. And again, I'm not going to go over all the details of Quix because I have another, you know, bunch of tutorials for it. So let's click to add new. You have the classic, it's the older version, and you have the new. So let's click on this. And with Quix, you notice that it's a little bit simpler, you know, minimalistic. So first thing we want to do is let's put in a page title, Joomla form. And this is where you can put like your SEO, page settings, and link to menus, but we're not going to do all that right now. You can check your device responsiveness here as well. And at the very top here, this is let's call it Quix rank. It lets you know like your SEO rank and helps you to improve. And this where you can optimize your images. You can, preview the page. So let's click to add a section first. So with this section, you can click to add one, or you can also choose to add templates. And you scroll through here, you can choose to add any one of these here, but I'm not going to do that. So with this section that we have, let's add a column. So we're going to add two. Let's add this one here. I like this style. So now we have the same layout here with Quix. So you can drag, move it over, resize it, which is really great. So let's click to add a new element, and we're going to add video. Just grab a simple video, YouTube. Let me grab a YouTube link right here. So with YouTube, you just have to put in your YouTube ID. You don't have to put the address if you don't want to, but it shows either way. So you can choose Vimeo, or you can add custom. So we'll have our video set up. Let's click on apply. And with the video, it's not that much you can really customize. Just we'll leave it at that for now. Click cancel. And then we want to add the form. So click add new element. We want to type in, you go to Joomla, module. So you click on the drop down for the module, and we are looking for Joomla form, and then apply. So now you have the form, and then you have your video in the corner like that. And let's see, what else so let's make sure we click on save. And we can change the background for this. So to change the background here, you go to this cog. You can have a box. Let's go to the background. You can choose a different color. So far we have the blue, we have the orange. Let's see, what color do we want to make this? Let's go, I don't want to put a green because then it's going to blend in too much with that here. So I'll just go with, all right, so we'll go with this one for now, right? Or we can change, I don't know, we'll change yellow. It's just too bright. So we'll just go with this one for now. So that's how you change the background color. Click on apply, and I am going to add in, let's see, add in a new row. And this is going to be a 1. Click to add new element. We're going to put in a heading. The same thing here, Joomla form sub. And let's see, make that centered with the color. We want this to be white. And I can drag this over so I can see what I'm doing here. I want this to be white. Typography, which size? We can make that, let's see, go. Okay, so I think that's okay, right? So we could leave it at that, and then we'll just have to drag this up. We just have to move this one above this. Okay, so now we have the form at the very top. Let's click on save. So now that's how we have our setup. It's it's pretty much done. So let's take a look here quickly. Of course, you can always add more to build your page out more. So let's see if I wanted to add a new element here. There's so many different elements that I can be able to go through. Let's see, social. I can put social icons. Let's go to the pro and see if there's anything else that I want to add. So this looks okay. This looks okay now. Again, you can build it out. You can add more things. Joomla form sub. So now let's take a look at all three. You have, this is the Quix. This is the SP page builder. And this is the Gridbox. So it's pretty much up to you how you want to, design it. And let's see here, if you want to do some more customization, we're going to do the same thing too for page builder. If you wanted to design, let's say you add some divider, you can do that as well. You click, let me show you how to do this divider. You click here, and then you go to style, you go to divider top or bottom, whichever one. So let's go to the bottom here. We have the divider style. You can choose the different options that you have right here. So I like that. You can choose the color too that go with it. All right, so you click apply, and now you have something that something that looks like that. And with page builder, you have the same thing too. You can be able to choose the type of let's say divider that you want. So let's click to edit here, go to style. You want to go to the shape. This one is called bottom shape. You want to enable it. Now you have this beautiful shape here at the bottom. Oh, let's see, what do we want this to be? So we're gonna let those clouds, I think those clouds look good like that, right? So it's nice and simple. If we want to take some more space off, we'll just drag it like that and just click to save. So we have our work here is complete. You have, this is for the Quix. This is how it looks. This is how page builder looks. You can change the size. Let's see here. You can make that a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. It's up to you. Click on save, and then you have the Gridbox. It's the same thing here. So you can see how you do it in all three of them. Well, I really hope that you enjoy this. Again, this is just to show you how to integrate email marketing to your Joomla stuff. This can get so much more extensive. When I do, you know, like custom sales funnel lead pages for clients, it goes so much more. You can set up, you know, the cross sell, the upsell, the downsell, all those things. You can do split testing. And so this is a really cool way for you to get your stuff launched. You know, it's really cool, and it gives you everything that you need, and you can build something solid. So now let's go to components. Let's go to convert forms. Let's check out submissions. So we have nothing for newsletter. Let's go to Joomla form. And this is the form that I submitted. You get all the visitor ID, and it shows you their name, their email, and the campaign that you've built. You can start to execute your campaigns really efficiently. You can use AC Mailing 6 to get that going, and you're set. So I really hope that you learned something here. And if you are looking for someone to build a more extensive sales funnel or set up an email, the automation part, and just to do this for you, definitely reach out to me. I can help you set it up, build pretty much anything that you want to get a really custom look, really great design in any one of these extensions, whether you want it to be built with Quix, you want to build SP Page Builder, or you want to build with Gridbox.